You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, WoolDog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Guys, 4 hours.
Kevin's coming home.
4 hours I go to the airport to come back to the United States of America.
Hooray. Finally. Goodness
so
gracious. How long has it been?
About 28 days. I'm ready to get out of here. I want to hear some American, some good old-fashioned like English. Yeah. Let's get back to it, brother. Some
Well, you'll
humidity,
get plenty of that in
Missouri
Missouri.
humidity. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Well, let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm still here in America.
We are still here. We
I
are
bunker
still
down.
in
I bunker
America.
down. I have a lot of pride, and I just hang out here.
He's loyal.
All right, gang. Well, we've got plenty to talk about this episode. We've got a very special Bolt Insight lined up, one that you've all been clamoring for. An awesome, another international fan focus. And as always, an Ask Boltfam that's probably doubles the episode in length as
This
it
is
usually
a big
does.
one.
God bless. Everybody got their quills and papers and candles. And let me write a letter that's about a mile long for you. But it's all
gonna
in
be
good
good.
fun. You guys, we love you guys. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a good time regardless. But let's start it off with another podcast. Some news that came out from another podcast. Drue Tranquill, of all people. We're not unfamiliar with players having podcasts. We saw that, we had the Mike and Ike podcast for a short while.
The experience.
The experience is going on right now. Our very own Jen Mills was on that show. And now Drue Tranquill has dipped his toes into the pond. And I mean, I shouldn't say dipped his toes. He cannonballed into it.
He went
Yeah.
full send on
He
this.
can
cowabunged
opener
into the
this
pool.
buddy.
Yeah.
He got the unicorn on pretty early in his setup.
He got his other guests are huge too. He had Tony Dungy and a bunch of other big time
Yeah,
names.
he's set up for success right now. That's
Yeah.
pretty rad.
And it's a great podcast to listen to because he's talking to these guys and it is cash, laid back. You're getting honest, candid answers. And yes, he had Justin Herbert on the podcast. Drue Tranquill said, did it bother you a lot when you would lose just like really small things, whether it was like a game of cards or was it really only the things that mattered or was it kind of everything? And Justin Herbert said, I think it's great because I think it's everything.
That's
Whether
great.
it's Madden. Yeah, it's great. What a competitor. Whether it's Madden or whether it's golfing, even lifting at the facility, there's always times when you're pushing each other. And yeah, we've got a pretty close group of friends. And whenever you compete with them, like you want to do, you want to beat them, you want to embarrass them. It's kind of my goal. Whenever we go golfing, whenever we go, race go-karts, you want to win and you don't want to get second place. That's kind of the fun part about it.
I very similar. I try and embarrass whenever possible. That's my ultimate goal. So, but that's pretty hard to say. Like, I don't just want to win. I want you to question why you even competed.
Why did
in the
I show
first
up
place.
today? Yeah.
Like what's the point of my life right now?
Yeah, that's the kind of competitor. I mean, I just think that competitive people are born. I really think that there's like a genetic like part of your body that you're either uber competitive or you're not. And some of it is probably the environment that you're raised in, right?
Yeah, he had an older brother. You had an older
two
brother.
brothers. He's an older and a younger brother, all 2 years apart. So yeah, you're gonna. I mean, I remember I thought I could hang with Kev when we were little, and I would try to compete in everything too. I would lost everything, but it was all like everything, every single thing.
We
My
were
boys
always
right
competing.
now.
Yeah,
I have a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and they fight. Who gets to the car first, right? Shotgun competition.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get last one downstairs a rotten egg? It's just like absolutely everything is a competition, and that's what he was built in with his brothers at home, and now he does it with all the guys on the team. It sounds like.
yeah.
Well,
It's
just in general.
exciting.
Yeah. I think he just has that competitive edge.
Switch.
And it's not something that you expect to come from him in every interview. Like, he is just that calm, cool, collected guy.
Right.
But when he hits the field or when it's time to go, he can switch it on and he goes.
That was what everyone was questioning in the draft, right? That's why he wasn't the first quarterback taken overall, because they're like, is this guy even like football? Like, does he want to win? Can he lead people? And the guy wants to embarrass people at go-karts. Right?
I would embarrass
like, clearly.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't do their research in the draft when they were bringing up these questions, like,
just go talk to his older brother. Just go talk to his older brother. That's what you should.
I think that's 100% it. If you want to know if someone's competitive, go talk to his brothers. You'll find out really fast. You'll get stories instantly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are you listening, scouts? That's what you got to do to find out if these guys are competitive. Go talk to siblings.
And if they don't have brothers, they're probably not that competitive.
There you go.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Might be soft.
Yeah, might be. All right. Well,
soft.
Well,
that was a direct jab. Adam, do you have any brothers?
I don't.
I'm just called you
Of course he
right
does.
now.
He's got us. He's got us.
I'm a big doughboy. I'm the Pillsbury doughboy. I just go.
You're our honorary brother. We can pick on you a little bit if you'd like.
Sure, but you won't. Because I'm soft. All right. Well, today we started to see pictures coming out. OTAs have officially begun, and we are seeing players.
Helmets.
We're seeing
lines
free
on
agents.
fields.
Yes, we're seeing numbers matched with players that we have yet to see don the entire jersey, or the practice jersey, I guess these are, and it's pretty awesome. We're seeing Khalil Mack, 52, with Kyle Van Noy, number 8.
Just walking out to practice together, like, let's just go.
Just
terrorize everyone. Let's go.
Let's chitty chat. Then Daniel Popper tweeted out players I did not see on the field today for the first day of Chargers OTAs. Joey Bosa, understandable. Austin Eckler, understandable. J.C. Jackson, understandable. Mike Williams, understandable. Jerry Tillery and Kenneth Murray. Murray had ankle surgery recently, so no surprise there. So the Murray's no surprise, but Jerry Tillery. Gilbert Manzano said it's voluntary, it's May, but Jerry Tillery not showing up for the start of OTAs is interesting.
Right? Yeah. I mean, Eck kind of he explained how he's ramping up, staying at home, doing his workouts. He's got his own schedule. He knows, like, I don't want to peak right now, so I'm being careful with what I do.
Right.
So, like, it's easier to say, like, Eck already got paid. We have a long-term future with him. Jerry Tillery's in a much different situation.
Right.
But even that much more so, shouldn't Jerry be wanting to peak at the right time?
Yeah. I think you'd want to be there around the guys, just to got to get in there a little bit, dude. Get that camaraderie going.
That's what we think, right? I think that's what fans think. And because we would never miss an opportunity to be at a single practice, no matter what.
No.
Right? But it's just a different world for these guys. And if like Eck, he's like, hey, I am on a strict routine right now. I have my diet figured out. I'm training in this location, and I love the guys that I'm working with. Mentally, I'm super like sharp right now. I don't want to go and change everything right now when we still have so long until the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I agree too. When I saw Jerry Tiller, I'm like, what, dude? Like, get out there. You still gotta prove some stuff.
One of these names is not like the others. We'll just say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all these other guys have deals. They're lined up. They're veterans. They're good to go. There's no question about, whether or not they can, get in the scheme of things or anything like that.
Mike Williams is still enjoying that payday.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
And just like Austin Eckler's working on his, has his workout routine set up, prime for him. I'm sure a lot of these other guys are doing the same thing. They're just not doing it out on the field. But Jerry Tillery, dude, like, didn't get his 5th year picked up. And Telesco alluded to, like, wanting to set a long-term deal with Jerry Tillery, but hasn't been signed yet, dude. So, like, it kind of just sends the message of, like, do you want to be here?
I think the team kind of showed him what was going on with not giving him that option. I think it's pretty clear, and who we brought in, direct competition for his job.
Right.
You think Tillery has the balls to be like, I'm not going to show up?
That would be fascinating. I don't know if he's got the clout to pull that off.
No, he has no leverage whatsoever. But Yeah, I've just seen crazy. He also, I know that from just hearing other podcasts and stuff talking about him, I know that he lives in Hawaii. I think he has a house in Hawaii for the off season. So I don't know if that's just travel wise. Like, I don't want to go on a plane for 5 hours for OTAs for a couple days.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of logistics behind it, but as a fan, it kind of irks me not to have him there. Like, dude, you got a lot to prove. Still get there.
Well, there's nothing for us to do other than read into it. So
right.
That's what we do.
And you got to know, dude, if I'm in Jerry's shoes, I know that people are going to read into me not being there.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know that.
Yeah. And then Daniel Popper tweeted out Christian Covington on why he is so excited to be back with the Chargers. This is a championship caliber team. Honestly, they've put the pieces together to prepare us to be that way. So, I mean, a guy that is, has been there more so for depth than anything else is excited to be a part of a team that has made the offseason moves that it has. And so, why not be excited to be in the good graces of Khalil Mack and Sebastian Joseph Day and Austin Johnson and Kyle Van Noy and all these other guys. So
you get the competitors, right? Like right. Justin said, these guys get paid, but they want to win. Like, they don't want to go play on a team that's just going to suck the whole year, especially a guy like him, like the Raiders. He knows that his role in the NFL is that depth defensive lineman. Right. He knows what his money's going to look like. So, I'm going to get paid this kind of no matter where I go. Let me go to a team that I'm going to might be able to win a Super Bowl with. Yeah. And like, he already has that environment here, but that kind of stuff, you don't hear that all the time, right? As Charger fans, we don't hear that as to like, this is why I'm coming back to the Chargers, because I know that we could win a Super Bowl. Right. That's not normally in the headlines of what people are saying. So that's super exciting. I mean, I believe that too, but to hear these guys saying it, that's what they're talking in the locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just want to see how this all clicks together, because there's so many new pieces here. There's so many new defensive players. Like, I think this is important because you're setting up how the rest of the offseason is going to go. Are you going to like meet up with this other guy and go work out with them and try and build that camaraderie? And, I think that is an important part of being a championship team, is having the camaraderie and making sure that you have each other's back. So this is an important few days to get this figured out.
Most of these guys that aren't showing up, it seems like, are defensive guys. I mean, we have Mike Williams and Austin Eck, but those guys, that's established, the relationships there. But having like the Palmers there and these guys and the Guytons and Keenan Allen still showing up. He's a leader on the team. So
yeah, dude.
Like I don't know. I'm excited. I think those guys being there. Hey, maybe with Eck not being there, he's like I'm not showing up, so a number 2 steps up. I'm not just gonna hold your guys' hand. Right. Isaiah, go get more reps with the ones. Go figure it out and become a legit number 2.
Yeah, I think that that's a great point, and I think it just makes it even more head scratching for Jerry Tillery. Like you talk about, like, there's a lot of new faces on the defensive side that are gonna, some of them have worked with Staley, not all of them have, but a lot of them have, and so for them, it's just kind of getting back into the groove, and Jerry Tillery, an opportunity to build relationships with some of these guys, and not being there is just one less opportunity.
Yep. Scott, move down the bench.
Move it down.
Mini-me, move down the bench.
And the coaches are looking at this though, right? You don't just brush it off. It's not just like, I couldn't make it. Okay. Coaches are looking at this. Coaches are seeing who's showing up and who's putting in the work. And it's not that right.
Right. Now, for all we know, he called Staley, worked it out, and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to be there because X, Y, or Z. And Staley said, no, that's fine. But we don't know that. We're fans, reading the book for the cover, judging it as we read it.
As we do
here. And if you're feeling a little judgy yourself, go on over to chargerchat.com and judge our website and all the stuff that we have over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers, and a member section where you could chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go judge it, chargerchat.com. All right, gang. Well, now it's time to move on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight. This
Lights?
is
camera action.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype, because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and man, are we lucky. We have the director. You've been asking for him all the time, and he's back. What's up, the director?
Another one. Hey guys, kia ora, Boltfam. It's the director. Super excited to be back here, man. One of my favorite interviews, I gotta say. Last time around, we geeked out. Excited to see what we got on the itinerary today.
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped. It's always fun to chat with you and kind of pick your brain. And want to pick your brain right off the bat. The draft. You know, we had some awesome picks. We're excited. We kind of bolstered everything, but you did a crazy amount of streaming during that draft. What was that like? Because you were very much involved with the fans that whole time.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think we kind of got our feet wet a couple years ago when we decided to start doing the live streams during the games. You know, I was like, maybe we'll give it a shot at commentating, you know, have some Chargers, you know, fandom on that side. And those streams can go a long time. Yeah. This last draft weekend, though, I think we got close to 20 hours of streaming, which was pretty insane. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like in the demographic that I'm in, not a lot of Chargers fans. What I would be doing anyway is hanging out, if we had the fandom out here, is hanging out at a sports bar and watching literally 20 hours worth of the draft anyway. Yeah. So why not get the whole Bolt fam together virtually that can't make it or doesn't have the demographic themselves and have a good time virtually experiencing it with tons of people that share the same passion for the team. So it was a really good time. Definitely tasking when it came to staying awake and, you know, just physically being or mentally being available during the whole 20-hour period. But it was a good time. It was a really fun experience being able to share that excitement with everybody.
That's awesome you did that. That's a great point. Like a lot of us are kind of spread out. There's not tons of Charger fans around us. So it's kind of like you're hanging out with your bros live stream. It's good times.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Virtual hugs. They're being felt. They're being felt. And it's definitely, I think the biggest thing for me that I live off of is hype. I'm pretty sure that's pretty evident with the kind of material that we like to put out. And for a long time, it was definitely a little bit like lackluster until we started the channel and found the Bolt fam online as well. So it's been a great experience. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to do it again next season. 20 hours again. Let's do it.
That's awesome, man. And then let's draft. We got some awesome guys. What were your thoughts? Like the first round was kind of crazy. No one really kind of predicted Zion Johnson. It wasn't really what everyone was saying. So what was your thoughts when they called his name first up?
I think I remember doing a video a couple of days beforehand. It was something called like what I want versus what's most likely. Yeah. And we listed Zion Johnson as the most likely pick at 17 in terms of need, in terms of value. But what I wanted was definitely in the terms of a skill position, wide receiver, cornerback. That's what gets the people excited, right? Sure. When they decided to, you know, go up there and announce the name for Zion Johnson, equally as excited. Of course, you know, is super excited to run a lineman in Madden, right? Yeah. But at the same time, the Chargers have just been doing so good in terms of like getting a best player available while also at a position of need. For the past couple of seasons, we've lucked out. And the reason why Zion Johnson was such a slam dunk pick, because it does feel a lot like Rashawn Slater last season, but at a different position, but equally as big of a need as last season was with left tackle. So getting a guy that's going to have like immediate Pro Bowl potential on a position where you desperately needed the help is a huge slam dunk win in the first round. And I think you can kind of find that value throughout the entire draft in terms of offensive linemen, especially. So very excited about Zion Johnson. Chargers definitely still need to do a little bit of work. I think they're tinkering around with that right tackle position. But outside of that, man, when was the last time that we had an offensive line this close to being one of the best in the NFL in terms of completion?
I think LT was setting records. I think that was the last time we had something like this. So, you know, and that's kind of also interesting. You know, we picked up Spiller to kind of maybe be a 1-2 punch with our boy Eck. What were your thoughts on that? That was a bit polarizing. People weren't sure, but I was kind of excited because, like Eckler said when we talked to him last time, he wants somebody to step up and like help him out a little bit. Basically, that's what he was saying. Is like somebody needs to help carry the load a little bit.
First off, bravo on the Eck interview. Very insightful, very fun, and yes, it was really cool to see Austin Eckler say, "Hey guys, I'm paying attention to what's going on back there. I'm going to be your competition, but somebody's got to step up into that role." Very excited to see him do that. As for Isaiah Spiller, initially in my stream, you saw a lot of hype because, again, we found a lot of what we needed in the running back 2 position in Isaiah Spiller, as well as value. I think he was graded somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd round. We got him in the 4th. Yeah. I think some places you see him in the 4th. Number 1, great value. Number 2, what he's going to be offering the team in terms of kind of versatility that this team needs outside of Austin, because Austin Eckler, very, very good when given space, very good on the outside. But when it comes between the tackles, it's a little bit more difficult because, I mean, the dude is like pure muscle, but he is only like 5'9", 5'9", 5'10", not the biggest guy in the world. So getting a guy that's 6 foot, 220 pounds in Isaiah Spiller, all of a sudden that's going to open up options, right? The short yardage, the goal to score. Like, we have a lot of things working for us now because we got the two different kinds of backs. I think Isaiah Spiller could be one of those, if we're talking in terms of fantasy football, one of those sneaky guys that you can pick up because of his skill set, what he's bringing to the team, as well as the Chargers' style of offense. How many times did we see the ball handed off to Joshua Kelly and fumbled away? Yeah. Then we moved away from those goal line carries. I feel like those are going to make a return. I think Isaiah Spiller is a very talented dude. I think that Isaiah Spiller, although maybe not the perfect power back archetype, just has the footwork, has the patience, the Le'Veon Bell-esque, moves to really make the most of those short yardage opportunities. So Isaiah Spiller, I'm all about it, man. I was super hyped then. I'm super hyped now. I know it's a bit of a controversy, but I think once we see him work a little bit in camp and we see a couple of, snaps in the first couple of weeks, I think people will get excited about him. How do you think he's going to do in terms of statage in 2022? I think it's going to really depend, rookie coming into a system like this. It'll be interesting to see how well he picks it up and how quick he is. If he's over under 6.5 touchdowns rushing. I'm going to have to go under for sure. I just don't know. There's under. Okay, I get that. It's such a crowded, there's still some guys in that room. You know what I mean? It's just hard to say who's going to land, but I'm pulling for him. I hope he's, coming from Jimbo Fisher's system. I'm hoping that carries over and he's as pro ready as everyone says that program makes people. So, but we'll find out about a big thing. Yeah. A big thing too, that I feel like I was overlooking even at the time of drafting him, is going to be the situation, right? The Aggies, terrible situation in terms of their offensive line for the past few seasons, in terms of injuries. And he made stuff happen. People out. Mm-hmm. Now here comes Isaiah Spiller, who was at one point touted as the best running back in the nation, running behind one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. So to go from the protection he had in college to the protection he's going to have in the NFL, we may see more in terms of production than what we saw Texas A&M. No, for sure. And he was also similar position. What we'll need him to do here. He was a 1-2 punch at A&M, so he doesn't have he still got a lot of tread on the tires. So I'm excited. It was definitely an upgrade, and I was on the side of excited over skeptical. But on the other side of that, free agents, man, we have picked up some absolutely the craziest year of being a Charger fan I've ever experienced. We were talking a little bit about this before we started. Absolutely insane. And then recently Van Noy and Morgan Fox and all these guys, you're like, what is going on? So what are your thoughts on the free agents? They never slowed down, right? At a point where we're like, oh man, we got Khalil Mack. How much did it cost? Well, a second round pick. Okay, I can get about that. And then they went around and got our picks back in the 6th round for 2 7ths. That is one of the best values I've seen as far as trade for the Chargers, maybe ever. Yeah. In terms of the free agency class for the Chargers as a whole, I mean, you would have a hard time assembling that roster, even in a virtual sense like Madden or, video games and stuff like that. It is pretty dang loaded. Yeah. Khalil Mack, I feel, is probably one of the most important things that we did this offseason. I'm pretty sure we knew that we needed another edge rusher outside of maybe Uchenna Nwosu, who some were hoping to bring back. I kind of was as well, but I do think Khalil Mack brings more in terms of what the Chargers need in improvements. Because, yes, he's going to be very nice with Joey Bosa, but this dude is one of the best run-stopping edge players in the NFL as well. And he's been one of the most consistent, grading between 85 in the 90s for almost his entire career versus the run. And that's something the Chargers needed a lot from that other side of Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa is very good, not as good as Khalil Mack versus the run, but Uchenna Nwosu, Kyler Fackrell, those guys did struggle a little bit. So in terms of bringing what the Chargers need help in improving this season in the run defense, on top of that, you got the pass rush. In this division in particular, my goodness, dude, you're going to need all the help that you can get. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, et cetera, et cetera. We're not going to name the other guy. Yeah. So very, very bold move. It's going to pay off big time. JC Jackson, my God, man. What that is a free agent signing that doesn't happen. And we got him at a value for where those players are going in his situation, money-wise. So it's kind of one of the first things that I love to do after you sign a big name, because you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. He's the number one guy. The hype is here. Let's see how far we can justify this. You go look up the opposing team's podcasts, right? So in this case, you go look up the Patriots podcast, their YouTubers and stuff like that, just to kind of gauge the field a little bit. Everybody was super upset.
Yeah, they're bummed. That's a good sign.
Their minds, because again, as you mentioned, we got such a great value on J.C. Jackson, which again, so interesting and so strange. But it sounded like he wanted to come to Los Angeles. After what was the most recent cornerback that got extended? Now I don't think JC's even in the top 5 corners in the league.
No, yeah, it was a kind of a run. Like he kind of usually those guys wait for somebody to set the bar and then they jump above it with their contract negotiations. He was just like, all right, I'm going to LA. Give me the best you can get. Let's go. And then people kind of piled on top of that.
The impact that JC's going to have is insane.
Yeah.
I know that Brandon Staley, that defense, it's really hard for the casual NFL fan to understand because of how complex and flexible it is, myself included, right? I'm just a talking guy on YouTube. I pretend, to have it all together at the same time. Brandon Staley, it's a complicated system for a reason. It's to keep professional football teams on the opposite side, on their toes. And JC Jackson, what he's going to provide feels to me at least very similar to how Jalen Ramsey it was utilized, maybe not so much in the star position, but just so much as having a guy that can lock down that opposing wide receiver one. Very, very important. Opens up flexibility for Derwin James. JT Wood's going to play a role in that too. Opens up flexibility, up front, blitzing packages. Everything feels like JC Jackson was the key to unlocking, a big potential in this defense. So having that true number one corner, I think is going to allow Brandon Staley to really get jiggy with what made him so good at the Los Angeles Rams a couple of years back. So smashing success.
Yeah. And the thing that people are kind of not talking about either is Vato, is Michael Davis. He didn't have his best year last year. New system, get it. It's totally different than what he was running in Gus Bradley's system. I still think he has a lot of potential to be really good. So, and we signed him last year. So, this is a weird year where as Charger fans, we're always, when you look at the roster, it's that first line of guys, solid. We're really good at our first line of defense. But when you start looking at the backups and going down the roster, if that's where it falls apart, this is different. You got Kyle Van Noy, you got some of these pass rushers that are going to be a part of, the 1-2 punch that is Mack and Bosa.
Yeah, Vato, he's going to be, I think, as in terms of what they're asking him to do, I feel like he's going to have a lot easier time this season. Of course, the scheme being a very big part of it. 6 foot, 2? Ran a nice 40. Fast. I think he's got the size, he's got the speed. In terms of year 2 of Brandon Staley, too, I think that's an excellent point to bring up because, again, like we mentioned, complicated scheme, lots of flexibility. This is something we covered a couple of days ago in terms of why I think the run defense struggled so hard in 2021 was because of the lack of versatility in those defensive linemen. As good as some of them had been in the past, Linval Joseph, Justin Jones, still pretty good this last season. They're not as easy to move around, let's say, as a Sebastian Joseph Day or as an Austin Johnson. Brandon Staley has hand-selected his Avengers, right, that operate in his system where he can move dudes around, where he can keep the opposing offenses on their toes. And I feel like the same thing can be said for pretty much every single player that the Chargers have signed this year. Flexibility, versatility. They can play the slot, outside, edge, linebacker with Kyle Van Noy. Our defensive linemen can all be moved around now. It feels like finally, after Brandon Staley fixed the offensive line last year, he was given full control of, with him and Tom Telesco, of how to create the defense that worked with the Los Angeles Rams. So, yeah, man. I mean, Austin Johnson, Sebastian Joseph Day, those guys are going to get the job done in the middle. It's going to free up Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. We're going to get to the quarterback. Aaron throws by the quarterback. You're going to see JC and Derwin back there, Asante Samuel, et cetera, et cetera. I think the name of the game was to improve this turnover ratio, and I think we're heading in the right direction. We're
going to be picking and sacking all season long, I feel like. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The more of Mahomes in the dirt, the better season for the Chargers.
And mascara, if you will. He'll be face down. And then wanted to chat, you do some awesome stuff. Your social media is awesome. Wanted to get your idea, your thoughts on kind of what the Chargers are doing and this like recent release video that they just put out. Because it wasn't just in like football circles. It was trending everywhere. I guarantee you we brought some fans into the fold with that. Like, what do you think this Chargers social media is doing for us?
Absolutely. Bravo. I've worked in the film industry a long time, right? And I worked in commercial social media for a few years too. You do not see that. That is some quality quality work
viral.
To keep the fan base viral. And it just so fire, right? To keep the fan base and NFL fans, aware of the team, excited about the team, and building the optimism about the team. I'm not the biggest anime person. I told my wife this. She gave me a hard time about it. She was like, name one anime you didn't like. I was like, touche. But I understood a lot of the references, a lot of the slams. It's a beautiful Easter egg packed piece of content you have to watch over and over again. The Chargers social media team, if there was an Academy Awards for the NFL social media teams, they would be the top of the list every single season. Absolutely fire. Bravo. I know that probably took a whole bunch of effort, resources, money. Absolutely worth it. They hit it out of the park.
They're doing it well. And what I'm looking forward to is your hype video. You always put together an awesome hype video for us before the season gets started. When do we get it? When are you're gonna deliver this present we get to open?
Well, two things. First, one, the Charger chat team will be making an appearance at some point in the video. I grabbed the clip that we needed to use. It was absolutely necessary. You guys will be in it.
So
two, we've been hard at work on it. The schedule has been kind of all over the place this past few weeks, but I will say it's probably about 85% complete. I'm hoping to get it out here in the next week or so. It's good. I'm excited. It's very different than anything that I've edited before. It's very social media themed, I think is what we're going to say.
Well, that was a perfect segue into that because we're
absolutely
killing it on social
we're
media.
Trying to follow the path paved by the social media team for the Chargers.
I love it. Well, we're excited, so excited to see it. And then, wanted to see, because we haven't actually got to meet each other in person yet. Are you going to any games this year, man? I know you went to one last year, and I'm sure that was amazing, Thunder Alley, and experience hanging out with everybody. Are you going to any games this year?
Oh, absolutely. I think the plan at this point is to hit up at least one primetime game a year, right? At SoFi, obviously. So once the wife and I sit down and we look at the schedule, we got some traveling to do this holiday season as well. Once we find the game that fits our calendars a little bit, we're going to announce it. And last time, I know Dan from the Chargers Unleashed podcast put together this whole thing. We went to the one of the bars out there and met a whole bunch of people that couldn't meet the game. Likely something like that again. And if anything, we're going to have a really good time at Thunder Alley, which was one of the best experiences of my life.
It's
and what
amazing.
A game, too. Chargers, Steelers.
Amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
What a game to go to, bro. Holy crap.
Yeah, we were sitting there looking at the schedule over and over, and there's this one guy I know that's a huge Steelers fan. I was like, just to stick it to Nate. I'm going to go watch him whoop on the Steelers a little bit. Great game. So, yeah, I'll definitely let everybody know. There will be a big announcement, and we can make plans for everybody to hang out. You and me included.
Let's
the
do it, dude.
Chat guys.
We'll go throw one back. Yeah, absolutely. See, great.
Man, we were on the same page right there. That was magical. That was exactly what needed to happen right here.
That was perfect. All right. You were on last time. Let's get you out of here on this. Last time we had favorite sports movie. You being the director, favorite sports movie of all time. Remember the Titans, I believe.
Yes. Good memory.
I'm good. This is my brother's favorite. You guys were on the same page. A little different this time, not football related.
Okay.
Favorite sci-fi movie.
Oh. I think we're gonna go with Star Wars.
You have a full-size stormtrooper. Holy shit.
I don't know if people are familiar with what the 501st is. I've been in the 501st a lot, or I was for a very long time. Built that stormtrooper in my teenage years, and I've got Star Wars stuff all around the house, man. There's a trophy up there from Lucas. I'm going to get it. Hang on.
We're waiting. Well, wow. This is what I'm talking about. Holy crap.
We made a fan film. You can edit out my sweatpants over here. We made a Star Wars fan film that competed in one of the official Lucasfilm film festivals, and we ended up winning it, certified and everything.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
That's insane.
Yeah, big Star Wars fan, I have to say.
Love it. That's the best answer, and you had the proof to back it up right over your shoulder.
If there's one thing I'm always prepared for, it's what is your favorite sci-fi movie? Yeah. I think we got that one covered.
Right on, brother. Right on. Well, hey, always a pleasure, my friend. Good luck to you and everything you're doing over there on YouTube. It is fantastic. We always we love checking it out, and yeah, man, we really appreciate your time.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime. Super excited for the season. This is the season to get hyped about. Some people have been maybe a little bit conservative in their hype because, again, it's the Chargers. Just when you think we're about to win, they let us down into the deepest of graves. But this season, I'm telling you, as a longtime fan, I'm sure you feel the same way. Yeah. This carries the most potential to carry us the furthest since the LT days. And it's worth investing your hype this season. That's what I'm going to say.
And we're invested in seeing that hype video. So let us know when that is. We will share with everybody. And we really appreciate your time, brother. And we'll definitely talk to you soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, brother.
Well, there you go, folks. You've been asking for it. Get the director on. Get the director on.
We got him.
We got him.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. And your energy's infectious. Like, it really just got me fired up for the season.
Yeah. Yeah, and way to go on that stream, buddy. Like, what did you say it was? 20 hour?
That's
20-hour stream?
That's a lot of streaming.
That's no joke, guys. That's putting in work.
Yeah, you'll be lucky if I had pants on that whole 20 hours. Because
no way.
No way.
Never.
Be better.
I've never gone 20 straight hours with pants on.
Never in my life.
19, sure. 20, that's asking too much.
Yes. And I do want to bring up one Kevin, I'd like your explanation on one phrasing that you used in that interview.
Go ahead.
You were talking defense with the director, our great defensive backs, our awesome pickups on the edge rusher. And you said that we were going to be picking and sacking all year long. Can you explain? What does picking and sacking look like?
Picking and sacking. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to sack some.
It sounds even better when you say it. Picking and sacking.
It's pretty straightforward.
So we're going to pick some balls and sack some quarterbacks. We're going to pick and sack.
Oh, got it. Okay,
picking and sacking. You could go another direction.
It's got to be a soundbite in the beginning of this.
Picking and sacking.
Yeah. Yeah, I followed you, Kev. I don't know what Kyle's issue was, but
hey,
I don't know. When I was listening to it, I was trying to take notes for what to talk about. Holy smoke, picking and sacking.
Picking and sacking really got
took me off into another direction.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Picking and sacking, baby.
Picking and sacking.
Or you go the other way, sacking and picking. They kind of both work. They kind of roll.
Well, there's picking and a grinning. So picking and a sacking, I think, is
picking and a sacking.
Yeah, picking and a sacking. Yeah, sacking and a picking.
Yeah,
they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, director. Thank you,
director.
Thank you, director. You're the man. You're the absolute man.
All right. Well, now it is time to go international yet again, but not in Kevin's direction over in Poland. No, we're going westward ho.
Come from London.
Let's go see who it is.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are super pumped to have Greg from Australia. What is going on, Greg?
Not much, man. Just chilling out here and keen to talk all things Bolt.
Oh, man, we're so excited to meet you. And scheduling this is gnarly because, I forgot like Australia time zone. So I'm so glad we're able to do this. And let's kick it off how we do all these things, man. How did you become a Charger fan?
Oh, man, it was kind of started with getting into the NFL in its entirety. Started off 84. LA was big because of the Olympics. So then, unfortunately, those guys now that are in Vegas, they were big. So, they kind of put them on the map down, or NFL on the map down under. Didn't follow, but the 49ers into the 90s and early 90s. Who was that? Steelers then, I think. Winning, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They were popular because of that dodgy movie they made with their cheerleaders. But, that's yeah.
Oh, Debbie.
Debbie does fellas. My wife will probably watch this, so best we move on.
Sorry.
My wife and children.
My wife.
Where are we? And then, old Darren Bennett, the Australian guy from Western Australia, picked up by the Chargers and became the punter. So, what else to do but follow a fellow Australasian. So that was it, man, 95.
That's amazing. Bennett, honestly, I don't remember Charger kickers, but I remember him lighting people up on punt returns. Like, he would get pissed when they would return it more than 5-10 yards and close arm people. It was wild.
Yeah. They call it a hip and shoulder. So it's from when he was in his AFL days. They kind of get in like that. And I think the Americans don't expect the punters to tackle. So, they get a fair surprise when they get smacked.
Oh, yeah. So good. So, all right, man. Well, what are your thoughts so far on this offseason? There's a lot that's happened. The draft, we got some players. We picked up a load of studs in free agency. Well, as a Charger fan for as long as you've been one, What are your thoughts on this year? Because it's a very weird year for us.
Man, it is like the the draft has been easy. It has been awesome. Trading has been awesome and continues with a couple of new dudes today. But man, I'm just still hanging out for something in right tackle. That's the key. That's the key to bringing everything together. It means they can run on the left, run on the right. They can just, really set it up for Herbie to do his thing, man. So just bring in a big gun at right tackle.
It's so weird. We were talking a little bit before this started, like the idea that we have backups on backups on backups at most of these positions. But right tackle's like a glaring, guess we'll see what happens.
I mean, let's do another cornerback, instead of a right tackle. I mean,
just load them up.
Coming in, man.
Put 11 DBs out there on the field, and we'll still be fine.
Yeah. Tape some DBs together and put them at right tackle, man. It'd be sweet.
Let's fuse them. I love it.
Yeah, man. It'll all come good.
Love it.
No, man, but I think, with Staley there, Herbie doing his thing, hopefully Khalil Mack comes in with all that, with everything he promises. Seabass, I shouldn't call him Seabass, right? But Sebastian does his thing.
Yeah.
Man, it's the hype is real, and man, I'm so excited. I'm like counting days. It's 112, I think.
I know. That's the problem. The off season where I'm just sitting here, just biding my time, and it's so awesome. I get to be talking to you is getting me even more fired up. So it's getting hard for me not to watch football right now.
Oh man, the amount of podcasts or potties as we call them, I'm watching, and get into bed every night, go through YouTube again to see if there's anything new. It's just man, it's got to deliver this year. It just has to.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and that's a good segue. Being a fan in Australia, how do you connect with the Charger community? Is there a Charger fans out there? What is that landscape like for you?
Well, I've only seen one other Herbie jersey in Perth, WA, where I am, which was really random. And I asked him,
Did you go give him a hug? Did you give him a hug? You're like, go!
Man, he was at lunch with his family, I think, on Mother's Day or something. Bro! It's just, the whole family is who's the guy? Who's the weird guy? My wife's pulling me back. Come on, sit down. I
love it. Had to be done.
It's a bit difficult, man. There's because there's the Die Hard Bolt Club, which you guys are now hooked up with.
Proud member.
There's there's a Down Under chapter, but connected with a few of those guys. One guy's in Townsville, which is LA to New York away. So
wow.
we don't really catch up for coffee too much.
Not a lot of meetups.
Nah, and that deals with people in New Zealand as well. So, from where I am to New Zealand is kind of the same as Perth to be the same as LA to New York. So, we swap stuff but I reckon as we amp up and we go through and we're sitting at about 7-1. There'll be plenty of chit chat going around.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And we met Tonga. He's in New Zealand. It's cool, meeting fans from New Zealand and Australia. I just love it so much. And being out there and you get to watch. You watch all the games. Have you ever been to the stadium? Have you ever been to a game in person?
Yeah, I've been to Qualcomm back in 2005.
Yeah,
in San Diego. And 2018, I went before they moved to SoFi, whatever it is.
Yeah,
SoFi, that's the one. 2005 was really interesting. I didn't even know, man. Back then, the Chargers were amping. Qualcomm was sold out every time, and the only time I could be in San Diego was Monday Night Football. So I actually sent an email off to the Chargers organization and, hey, I'm a long-time Darren Bennett fan. I love the Chargers, dream of mine, bucket list. And I got an email back from a woman called Betsy Pyle. And I'm like, man, is she out of Forrest Gump or something? I've been hacked for sure. Betsy Pyle. So I thought, man, I was sure I'd been hacked. So I actually phoned the Chargers organization, and they put me through to Betsy Pyle, and she was like, "We'd love to have you as our international guest. We'll organize tickets for you, sideline tickets, party beforehand, meet all the Charger girls." So,
nice.
I was in year 2 with my wife then. So,
can't meet all of them, but just maybe one or two.
Yeah, I ducked off for a while.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, man, all it's such a buzz, man. Such a buzz. Such a great thing to do. So
that's so cool. They hooked you up with they hooked you up with tickets and all that. Like, that's insane. That's really, really got to be a unique experience.
Well, as I said, man, I was like, this is too cool to be true. Like I've fully been hacked there, or someone's just having a laugh. And sure enough, man, awesome. I took Betsy one of the AFL jerseys of the team I follow here and a cap and stuff like that, and gave it to her. So it was a great day, man. Unfortunately, the bus and the Steelers marched us downfield in the last drive and kicked the field goal to win. So but yeah.
It's
still awesome, bro.
It's experience. And then are you planning to get to I'm sure it's not easy for you and it's like years of preparation, but are you planning to get to our new stadium and come hang out at Thunder Alley?
Yeah. So next, not this season, hopefully the next season, a few of the boys and I will be going away for a birthday trip to go skiing, and we'll time it around going to the Chargers game. Oh man, yeah, can't wait.
Dude,
like
you got to let us know.
I just see it all the time. I'm just like, I want to get there.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That's amazing, man. Well, hey, Greg, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you, man, and I'm really excited to meet another diehard Bolt Club member, and keep rocking it for us down there in Perth.
Will do, man, and everybody else out there.
FTR,
respect.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Cheers, man. You have a good one.
You too, brother. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, bro. Bye.
Bye.
Well, let's go, Greg. Thank you very much for coming on. It was awesome. That was very cool, dude.
I say it. I'm a broken record, but international fans are something different, man. Just
so cool.
Not only do they have a different perspective, they just sound fucking cooler than us.
They really do.
It's just a fact.
They really do.
Fact of the matter.
And they're just way more, like, I'm pretty committed to the Chargers, but I have like a community right here and I could go to the games.
Right.
That
and
man's
you get to see them at regularly scheduled times.
He was watching games at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like that.
And he said like his closest, like, hey, let's go hang out and watch the game is like LA to New York away. Like, are you kidding me? Just isolated on an island watching the Chargers. And he's been a fan a long time. He stuck with us when we sucked.
Yeah.
We were real bad.
Yeah. And I love the Bennett connection too, because he's like my favorite punter of all time. And he's the man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the FTR and the whiteboard on the background. Come on. The second the thing turned on, I was like, love this guy.
Yeah,
good guy.
Love him.
Guy.
Character guy. Yeah.
Yep. Put him on the roster. He's the character guy.
So what was the question that he or the scenario that he posed for a right tackle situation?
Oh yeah. So we picked up. He said that Kim and Kev were like, "Hey, we picked up a lot of DBs, but no right tackles. I guess we could just slap 2 of them together and put them at right tackle."
Them together.
Who would your 2 DBs that you would tape together?
2 DBs.
It's got to be Derwin in combination with somebody else. He's the biggest dude out there.
Because you're getting a yin to the yang. You're getting like you got to go Derwin, and then I think, that's kind of hard.
They're all little guys. I don't think 2 taped together would even.
Yeah, Asante Samuel, because he'll just put his head down and go crazy.
Yeah. Just chop block everybody.
Yeah, just go at ankles, go at knees.
Yeah, I think Asante Samuel's the right call, just because he's that aggressive, and just will not afraid to go against other big guys that are coming at him. So.
Great idea, though.
Yep.
Great concept.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Let's think about it. Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
Let's flesh this out a little bit.
Yeah, we'll buy a couple rolls of tape. That's what OTAs are for, right? We got to practice this.
Yeah, that's how you got to show up.
Think outside the box.
All right. Well, Greg, thank you again for coming down and sitting and chatting with my man Kev. And now, folks, it is time to go on to the next segment. It is Ask Boltfam. Get comfy, pop your popcorn, crack a cold one, because we're going to be here a while. Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is. Hey, guys.
Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy. That's right, gang. It is the director's cut version of Ask Boltfam. So you're going to see it all. Extended edition. Uncut. Here we go. Starting it off with Austin Wilder Trammell, who asked the question.
I don't have a question, just an answer to your question from the schedule released video. The song the Chargers used for their schedule released is called Dream Within a Dream by Hideyuki Asada. Their soundtrack on YouTube had only 11,000 views when the Chargers released their anime. As of right now, the video has 15,000 views thanks to the Chargers media team using their song.
Awesome.
So
the
yeah,
more you know.
The more you know. That really wasn't a question, but I wanted to include it in there because I love the song. I got it on Apple Music, so it is on my iTunes, ready to go for me to
pump up.
Yeah, is that your like
to be walking around the walk.
Your game day song.
Bushwhacking.
I mean, they use. I'll geek out for a second. In that song, there's an instrument they use that called a shamisen, and I am fascinated by that instrument. It kind of looks like an elongated guitar. It's just got a couple strings, and they use what to me looks like a spatula basically to hit the strings. If you've ever seen Kubo and the Two Strings, that's the instrument. It's a shamisen, and hearing that, anytime I hear that, I'm jazzed. Like I'm ready to go. So
look at you nerding out.
I got to nerd out for a second because I know you two won't say shit about it. So
I have no idea what the you're talking about.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Although I did just Google shamisen, and the first thing that popped up, people also ask, are shamisens still made of cat? So you got that going for you. That's weird. So I don't know if you want to be that diehard into the shamisen anymore.
Hey, you got a couple cats laying around the house. Maybe you can go all original on it.
Kevin.
What?
When they've shuffled loose this mortal coil, then perhaps
you get the blowtorch out, the drill.
That's when
we're making one of these bad boys.
We're gonna get canceled here. We need to lock it up.
When they
I love animal
died their
too.
natural cause death.
Yeah,
maybe. But Austin Wilder Trammell, thank you for letting us know. Let's move it on now to House of Hain.
Yes.
Who asked the question?
Top of the morning to you, laddies. I have a joke for you. Why do we leprechauns laugh when we run through the field? The grass tickles our balls. F the Raiders. Where the sun don't shine. Use this stack of gold coins as long as me arm, but sideways. Kill of you, bye.
House of Hain, you have an infatuation with shoving things up Raider buttholes in the wrong
and that's
direction.
why we love you.
And that's why we love you, buddy.
Yeah. Good leprechaun joke, too. I don't have enough of those in my day, so appreciate you on that one.
Big time. All right. Well, House of Hain, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cerberus21, who asked the question.
Non-Chargers related question, since we're in a bit of a dry spell. If you could be dropped in any given fictional universe and as any given type of character, what universe and type of person would you be and what would you do? So, for example, a Jedi in Star Wars, a blue dude in Avatar, a wizard in Lord of the Rings, etc. Have a great week, Boltfam, and as per usual, f the Raiders. I cannot wait for week 1. I will be in attendance and hope Boltfam shows out. If you guys don't mind, please remind the amazing Charger fans to only sell to other Charger fans. Being in LA, if you put your ticket on random websites to sell, they will almost always be bought by a fan of the opposing team. So keep up the good work, CC gang.
I concur.
Yeah,
we should
stop selling tickets on random websites.
Right. I mean, just
please.
You might make an extra $20, but you're going to sell it to an opposing fan, and we don't want that.
Piss off everyone at the stadium.
Exactly.
It's not worth $20.
Pretty please.
We should start like a pool to like buy these tickets and maybe not even use them, but just not let the other fans have them.
Sure.
Yeah, just somehow
donate
on our
them.
website.
Yeah.
We just need to win the lottery or something. If I won like an insane amount of money in the lottery, I would do something like that. I would buy. It might be a fairly empty stadium, but I would do something like that for one game.
It's just you with a little Charger pennant waiting.
Yeah, but I sit up in the 300 section just by myself.
Yeah. Just in your normal season ticket spot.
You got your loud horn.
Yeah.
Let's go Chargers. All right. So if we could be a random, basically just a character in a universe, like a Jedi in Star Wars or a blue dude in Avatar or a wizard in Lord of the Rings, what would you be? Why?
I got a really weird poll.
Do it.
So there's a movie back in the 80s called Robot Jocks, where these guys would get in these giant machines and beat the shit out of each other. It was like America versus Russia, and it's like I would go into Robot Jocks, like a really bad B movie.
Hell yeah!
And really, you could drop me wherever. I'm a giant robot that can fuck shit up. So that's Robot Jocks is my answer.
I love it.
Nice pull, dude.
That was a deep pull. Oh my God.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. It is pretty awesome, but in like a really cheesy, shitty
in the
way.
Most 80st retroist.
It's like stop motion
effects.
animation.
Yes.
It's pretty rad.
Oh, that is a great pull. Holy cow. Wow.
Top that, bitches.
That's gonna be tough to top. Whew. You know, I'll say this is gonna be so dumb, but I think at the same time would be kind of cool. I would love to be one of the surviving samurais in 7 Samurai.
Oh God, nice!
Because that would just be badass to be like with those other groups of samurais and just be badass with the sword. Those movies
playing
are so
your
badass.
shamisen.
Playing my shamisen, yeah. I don't fight with the sword. I fight with the shamisen.
Fight with my cat.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
All right, we'll top that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, the only thing I can think of, me and my son are super into Ninja Turtles. So
there you go.
Make me Raphael and let's get after it.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yep. My son decided I'm Raphael because he's the strongest one. So
okay.
Whatever.
Wow, that's kind of a nice compliment from the little one.
Mild flex. Yeah.
He doesn't get to hang out.
I'm stronger than a 5-year-old. I look strong to a 5-year-old. Yeah, huge flex.
He clearly hasn't hung out with his uncle
a good
much.
silhouette.
So you might be like a Donatello after he hangs out.
No. He said you're Donatello. You're the behind the scenes doing all the gadgets guy. I already said that because he's like, oh, Uncle Kevin.
Oh, he actually thought one for me.
He's
That's
Donatello.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You gave
Purple's
it
not
some
my
thought.
color, but I'm in.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll take it.
All right. Cerberus21, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Senor Snappy.
Aw.
Who asked the question? Hallelujah, boys. The Chargers have achieved another level of holiness with the blessing of the El Segundo Dirt. Speaking of holy work, would Coach be willing to baptize people in the sacred waters of Willer's Wake? He be doing the dadgummit work of our holy father, Phil. K, love you, bye.
Marriage. This is a good request. Good voice request.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we would get in trouble.
What would it look like if you baptized people in Rivers Lake? Just like drop kick them
backwards.
What do I baptize them in the name of? The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit?
The Holy Phil.
The Phil, the Justin, and the
Dan Fouts.
Stupid Spaneye. Yeah. Oh, the Fouts. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm down. If you can set it up, make sure I don't get my season tickets taken away, then yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
I'd be happy to drop kick somebody into the water.
Yeah,
we could baptize opposing fans.
Right.
Yeah, we'll shower them in.
Does baptizing count with just like cannonballs? I can just push them and they cannonball in?
Yeah, done.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'll do cannonball baptism. Let's go.
Super down. Cowabunga, Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, cowabunga.
In the name of the Fouts, the Rivers, and the Holy Herbert. Amen.
Nice.
Good work.
Wow. Holy Herbert.
All right.
Shit.
Holy Herbert, Batman. Senor Snappy, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to SDBD89.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question? Why did the Chargers let go of Justin Jackson? Whoa, I almost said Herbert. What the fuck? He averaged more yards than Eckler last season, and he was way better than Roundtree. Sorry about that.
Don't speak that into existence.
I will never.
Well, averages are a funny thing because his workload wasn't much. Averages can be funny because he was hurt a lot of last season and all the other seasons he's been a Charger.
Yes.
He had a couple good games and
he had a few pretty explosive runs. So like
law of averages.
Yeah. If you combine 2 really good runs with 20 smaller runs, then it's evens out, and that's how you get your average. For those that don't know.
All honesty, I think it's the injury concern. I think that's just what it was. Well, and he was doing a new contract, right?
Yeah.
So he was
the biggest part of it. If he was still on his rookie contract, you keep him, but he's not.
Of course, yeah.
So he's going to want to get paid a little bit more, and that's just not what the Chargers or the NFL do anymore.
Right. No.
Your backup quarterbacks. I mean, your backup run. Look at us. Your backup running backs do not get paid. Yeah. Your backup running backs aren't going to get paid. So that's why we keep drafting young guys. So that's the continual turnover as your number 2.
Right.
I thought, like we talked about this whole offseason, like Justin Jackson, when he was healthy and playing, loved him. Like we were all for him.
Right.
But he cannot stay healthy. That's big issue 1. Issue 2, he's no longer on a rookie contract. So we're not going to pay a guy that doesn't play a lot.
Right.
Like if you want to look at one stat and just make your decision, you can. You're welcome to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, his total yardage, he had 360 yards last year, 270 the year before, 200 the year before that, 260 year before that.
Right.
The guy's getting the ball 68 times last year was the most he's ever had it. Scored 2 touchdowns as opposed to the 20 that X scored. So
do you see how many games he played?
So it says he was in 14 games this last season. But I don't know what that stat actually means. He was 9 the year before, 7 the year before that, and 13 the year before that.
Well, I mean, even with him being in the rotation, then you still had somebody like Eckler going like, "Hey, somebody's got to step up and be number 2."
Yeah,
right.
That was
we were
his
still
sentiment.
struggling with that.
That was his sentiment. Maybe that's also a reason. If that's what Eckler's saying, that's what coaches are saying. It's
if Eckler's calling for it, then you got to imagine the coaches are as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. SDB D89. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Carl Borlingtoft.
Carl!
Who asked the question? Did you know that in Danish, spiller means player? That's very meta, isn't it? How do you view the RB room? And will Spiller be the Spiller behind Eckler that we have lacked the last couple of years?
This is also the more you know. This is nice. So
Spiller.
Isaiah, he's the Isaiah player.
Isaiah player.
Player gonna play. I hope so.
Yeah, I think that's the whole reason why they drafted him, was for him to be the one behind Eckler, right?
Yeah, I think that's where you go. But I think Roundtree still has a chance. I thought he was a good runner at Missouri.
Yeah.
Kelly was a great runner at UCLA. I feel like maybe Kelly's not, we've talked about it before, might be slightly the odd man out on this situation. But
right.
It's tough when you get a new player. It's all excitement. It's like, okay, he's the new guy.
Right.
But you kind of forget that we have guys on the roster that, learned the offense last year and probably have a step ahead of him.
Larry Rountree is now a second-year guy in the NFL. He's no longer a rookie. And that filling out period, like Eck had talked about, like your body getting right, his body was deplenished because of everything that led into the draft and then straight into OTAs and mini camps. And so we may see a new Larry Rountree this year. So I think it's too soon to declare who the number 2 guy is going to be, who the spiller behind S and Eckler is going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we all have expectations for him to be a big part of the offense. I just honestly, I don't really think it matters who the number 2 is, as long as whoever that combination back there is that's giving Eck a breather, so he doesn't have to carry the ball so much.
Yeah,
even if Larry Rountree steps up huge and Isaiah Spiller plays great and they can both take away, then that's great, perfect. Who's 2? Who's 3? Who cares?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, just somebody needs to be able to. I mean, you can bounce them back and forth. I mean, it could be a 3-headed monster for the running back room, and that's fine. Like whatever's most effective and, doesn't force Eckler to have to just chug every game and get just beat out at the end of it and going like, why won't somebody help me?
Because hopefully he's playing 3 or 4 more games this year than he did last year in the playoffs.
Exactly.
You got to keep your body fresh.
Yeah. Does a body good. Carl Bollingtoff, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Mario Vences, who asked the question.
First of all, the Raiders. My question to you guys, if you could get away with one of these crimes, Which would you do? Number 1, take a shit in Derek Carr's locker before a game. Number 2, vandalize the Allegiant Stadium. Ow! Number 3, jump Derek Carr. Oh! Number 4, something else. Ooh, can't love you, bye.
That was crazy.
That was really good.
Michael Jackson.
That's
nice
a new
to
one.
meet you. It's
That's
nice
a
to
new
meet
one.
you,
Yeah.
Mike. Good to have you back.
It's ignorant. You guys are just ignorant.
Shit.
All right. So if you could get away with one, what would you do?
Taking a shit in someone's car is evil. And I tend to lean into evilness when I think of the Raiders. So I would probably take a shit somewhere in the air conditioning unit. So really hard to get out.
It says his locker.
Well, the 4th is an open one.
Oh, you could, you could alternate it.
That's why.
4.
Yeah, Derek Carr's car.
Yeah.
Derek Carr's car.
In his car, the AC
inside Derek Carr's car.
I was thinking you could do just like the locker room, the AC unit in there.
Yeah, because they can't get out of it.
They'll find that faster. They have people that work at the facility to clean it up.
True.
He's gonna have to do some work.
But he has multiple cars.
Right.
Multiple shits. We can do this, guys. There's 3 of us.
Multiple.
Oh my god.
It won't take much. We'll go to Taco Bell. We'll get this thing done.
I would want to vandalize Allegiant Stadium. I think it would be cool to paint the whole exterior of it like powder blue with lightning bolts all over it.
Right.
And then you see that from the sky cam when they always show the dumb, ugly stadium.
Yeah.
And it looks like just a Chargers
Roomba.
I guess a Chargers Roomba.
Yeah. I would love to desecrate that stadium, but in like in a beautiful way. Yeah. So like if you put like under Allegiant, you put like family trust and family trust respect, but in this like cursive, like really nice looking. And so some people might be like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, they are all about family.
I like that. Using the family trust respect thing.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, you family trust respect it. And then Charger fans are, and then Raider fans are like, oh, that's sweet. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Is that their motto? Yeah, that's what I do.
I like that. That's good.
Because listen, I don't like Derek Carr, but I would rather hit a fan base than hit one dude.
Me too.
I just want to get they're only gonna that team's only gonna be as good as Derek Carr will make them. And if you can get in his head and make him smell shit on his way to work and away, because it's not gonna be easy to get that out of the car. I think you're helping us as well as other teams that are gonna play the Raiders. Because wouldn't we all love to see the Raiders not win a game?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want to walk down the path, you know.
So your belief is that by pooping in his car,
yes,
you're going to stop him from winning any more football.
We might save the world.
Okay. All right, I can get on board with that.
One poop to save them all. Mario, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Kermit the Glizzy Gulper.
Yeah.
Who asked the question. Hey, y'all. Was listening to you guys talk about Urban Meyer hypotheticals and decided to bless everyone with a fun one today. How hard do you think Urban Meyer would have kicked Mr. Shit Kick Man Michael Badgley? We could have had a murder on our hands, man. Would we have had Jay Herbo Wednesday, or would it still have been Tebow Tuesday? Straight crazy, homie. K, love you. Bye.
Yeah, that's so fucking wild that he kicked the kicker.
I know, right?
Like, I get that's a joke. Like, that's a joke that just went too far. You go over and you kick the kicker and tell him to kick. Like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But you don't actually
kick guy.
hurt him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the concept of it being Michael Badgley in his place, like, because Lambeau is shown to be pretty serviceable during all of this
since he left the Chargers.
I will say Badge was a hockey player, and hockey players don't stand for that kind of shit.
Oh, that would have been interesting if he kicked the kicker and the kicker kicked back.
It put on
his buddies on the team rally around him.
Yeah.
He's just waiting for Urban Meyer to walk down the hallway and checks him into the wall.
Yeah. He comes out of nowhere and just flies out of him. Cross-check him, yeah. I think Badgley would have been better at it than Lambeau. So
yeah, soccer player didn't. He just, where's the red card? What the?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's it. It's going to court.
Urban knew. He knew who to kick. He knew he could get away with it.
He saw it in his eyes on day one. He's like, "Yeah, you're it.
Kick this guy.
You're my guy.
That's my guy." All right, Kermit the Glizzy Gulper, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on.
And it would be Tebow Tuesday still. You can't. He loves that man. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's clearly the affinity for Tebow knows no bounds. I'd be surprised if he even knew who Justin Herbert was, to be honest with you.
Probably. Yeah. He doesn't watch football.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move it on now to True JP,
certified fresh,
who asked the question.
So, do you see more or fewer rotations this year on defense? How many every down defensive players have we added since last year?
I think your hope is that you have more rotations, no matter what, no matter how quality you're adding. Like if you're adding a great stud, I think even for our edge rushers, you're going to see more rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Joey played a lot, mostly every single down when he was healthy.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you bring in the Kyle Vanoy at the last second. You want to have that type of rotation. It also rotation of position as well. The guy might still be on the field, but they're going to be moving around to different spots. So yeah, I think you're going to see even more rotation this year than because last year, because of injury, there's not a whole lot of rotation options. Right. I think you kind of got stuck with, after this guy, we got a big drop. So he's got to stay on the field as much as he can.
Yeah.
Now with our depth, you just get ahead of that from the get-go. So I think you're going to see more rotation than you did last year.
Awesome.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
That is a good thing. If we want to make a run with how long the season is already, plus trying to make it into the playoffs, like you got to have a roster built to be able to keep guys fresh, and they're not going to stay fresh if they're playing every game, all the snaps.
Right. Even right off the bat, right? Because we go Sunday to Thursday right away. So even first game, you're going to see a lot of rotation. I know we're all going to want to see the guys out there, but yeah, I remember in Pop Warner, Dad used to be like, I don't know if it was Dad, probably not Dad. It's probably one of the other assistant coaches. But they're like, look, if you're tired, you need to come out of the game because I don't want somebody going out there and going half speed when I could get somebody in fresh that could go. Doesn't sound like a dad thing. Sounds like you need to
suck it up.
You're tired? That's too bad. Get back in.
That's your fault for not getting ready for this game.
Yeah. You didn't come to enough workouts over the summer. Get back in there. You're punished.
Buddy.
Those suicides, you could have went harder at them.
Yeah.
You just didn't. And that's why I'm disappointed at you.
Right. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Maybe I'm making this up. Maybe in my head, I was thinking I can't go out unless I'm just dead tired and I can't do it anymore. But yeah. So yeah, I think the rotation thing is going to be huge. That's why Alabama even at the college level, like they're so good every year because they are just always on rotation.
Right.
The guys come in, you wish they were on the field more, but they're so fresh when they come on that they're going 100%. Offensive linemen don't get a rotation, right?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
You're not cycling those guys through. So they're playing every single down, getting beat up. Just imagine having a guy going at 80, 90% in the fourth quarter where you're dragging at like 70. So yeah, that's the benefit of having that rotation going a lot.
All right. There you go. True JP. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to a free who asked the question. Question for Kev. Guilty pleasure movie / TV show. Coach, when's the first time you beat your brother in sports? WoolDog, if a chicken had lips, could it whistle? And I know FTR and FTC, but what about FTB? Do we have one for that? Can love you bye.
Family trust. Boy.
Brotherhood?
Yeah. Brotherhood. Family trust brotherhood. There you go. Fine.
All right.
Done.
Fine.
Done.
Decided.
Don't love it.
Print,
Fine.
check the gate.
Stamp of approval.
All right, Kev, guilty pleasure movie or TV show?
I'm a nerd. I like watching. It's not a funny answer.
Don't be.
I like to watch documentaries about making movies. So I just got into a really good one called De Palma, all about Brian De Palma.
Nice.
That's not a guilty pleasure though. Like
it is
something you.
Then,
what's a show that? What's a show that you watch that you would never want to admit? That's what we want to hear. Like, are you watching Real Housewives?
You're like,
are you watching
cool
Selling
shit,
Sunset?
Really.
Are you?
I only watch cool shit. No, I do. I will watch some. I only watch cool shit. I have occasionally watched that show Below Deck on Bravo.
Guilty pleasure.
There you go.
Not really. I haven't watched it in like 5 years because I only watch cool shit. But I have seen that before.
Okay, so it's not a good answer. Not My Little Pony or
no guilty pleasures.
No guilty pleasures.
Got it.
No,
Kevin keeps it straight laced.
I will. I'm not gonna lie. Kids, I will do some Paw Patrol.
There you
Especially
go.
the movie Paw Patrol.
Chase, you know I'm all about Paw Patrol.
So Paw Patrol, Chase is on the
I am
case. Baby.
Chase. Yeah, Chase on the
That or
case.
Storybots. Storybots, I actually learned some shit on that show. I've actually learned a few things from the Storybots. So, yeah. How
Storybots,
electricity
number
works.
blocks. There's a lot of good ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Coach. When's the first time you beat your brother in sports?
Birth? I don't know. Like right off the bat,
Birth.
I probably came out
Sports
faster.
of birth.
I was better at being birthed than you, Kevin.
Yeah. Took a
Scored
bottle
more
sooner.
points.
I don't know what are we classifying as sport here? Everything.
I think the first
I don't
time
know.
you beat me at something. The thing is,
Obviously,
we
it
were
wasn't that memorable.
I left. I moved away to school,
Yeah.
and you were like, what?
I was 12, 11.
12. Yeah. So I was always much older. I recently tried to arm wrestle Kyle in Vegas, and it did not go f***ing well.
Somebody got
And
the big room.
It kind of bummed me out. We arm wrestled for the big room, and I wasn't fully prepared, and Kyle kind of didn't lock it up properly. And he got an advantage.
All the caveats.
Dave was there. Dave was the referee.
But I will give you that. I did lose the big room. And I've been working out my right arm ever since.
Next year's rematch.
Yeah, I'm coming back for
Been
you.
watching Over the Top over and over again.
Over the coach.
That's
All
right.
right, Adam. Can a chicken? If a chicken had lips, could it whistle?
Well, this is a good question. I have no idea.
Is it?
I mean,
And if it did, what would it whistle?
I mean,
What song would a chicken whistle?
Old MacDonald had a farm.
Probably, right?
Yeah, but boy, I'm trying to picture a chicken with lips. Could it whistle? Yes. Would it whistle?
So crazy.
I don't think so.
I think it wants to draw attention to
I think
itself,
that's
right?
what separates us from the animals is whistling.
Yeah.
Even those
For
with lips.
creativity.
Yeah. So there's your answer, Free. Thank you for asking the question.
Thank you.
Let's move it on now to Arnie Gordon, OTA, who asked the question. Why the shade on Pipkins? He was asked to improve, and he did. Staley has been with him every practice. Do you believe he has earned the right to compete for the starting right tackle position or not? Love the podcast. Bolt up.
He should, because he's a third-round draft pick. He should be starting there already.
Right.
Like, he should. This is the problem with him, is that he was drafted to be a starter, and he's coming up on his final year, and he hasn't done anything. How do we know he's improved? Because they said that he's had a good offseason. What does that mean? Like, he had one good game last year, and that was it.
You came hot.
Yeah, you were angry.
I want him to be good, but he just
It doesn't
hasn't
sound like it.
shown that at all.
No, it's what I picking up is frustration because he hasn't been good, and I think that the overall fan base. To answer the question, yes, he's earned the right, I guess, to compete for the right tackle spot.
Sure, yeah,
but he's had that right every year, and he's never won it.
Right,
and I
don't know
think
what's going to be different.
The frustration and like the shade, I guess, on Pipkins is I'm not sold by two okay games. That's not enough for me to be like, yeah, this is a guy the right tackle. It's going to take us to Super Bowl.
Right.
Or like be a part of the team that's going to take us to Super Bowl. Could he? Yes. And do I hope he does? Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I don't have enough to go on to be like, oh yeah, I'm sold on Pipkins.
Right.
To me right now, Storm Norton is a more proven commodity. And I know he's not great, but he's still more proven than Pipkins is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if Pipkins wasn't as high as a draft pick as he was, if he was like an undrafted free agent, wouldn't get nearly half the shade that gets thrown his way.
No, he was a fifth, sixth rounder. Different.
No, yeah. If he was a third round, but it's because he was a third round pick.
Yeah.
That the expectation for him to perform, especially this deep into his career with the Chargers, is high. And when he doesn't do that, or when the coaches don't give him the position because he didn't earn it or he didn't win it, that's where the frustration comes from. So,
right. And also, who's to say Storm Norton hasn't gotten a lot better?
Exactly.
Right. I think there's a competition there. Where I'm excited. I think this is one of the position groups that everyone's watching in training camp. Obviously, is this right tackle spot and what happens.
Right.
So those are the two guys right now on the depth chart.
Yep.
And when they make that documentary about winning the Super Bowl, you got to look back at some of the guys that rose to the occasion and really took the team and did things they didn't do the prior year. And I'll watch that storyline. Give it to me all day.
Yeah. Big time. All right. Arnie Gordon, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Super Bolt's champs, who asked the question.
What up? Hoo-ha! I was
watching the Drue and Justin pod, so I just thought of this question. Hoo-ha! What is the best Justin Herbert moment for you guys so far? And yes, I am drunk while I'm typing this question. F the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Donkeys too. K love you, bye. Stay bolted. Hoo-ha!
Nice. That's good.
All right, so best Justin Herbert moment.
It's the easiest. It's that first game when he knocked out the linebacker.
I know, that's what I was going to say too.
That was the first game that he got to play that we were not expecting. And he just finished off a linebacker. Like, that's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this? What do we have here?
Yeah.
There's been some good ones, right? I think.
Yeah.
I was in that stands out, and it's hard to say. I was in was good, beating the Raiders.
A great moment, yeah.
I think that, and this is weird because we lost, but all of those conversions that we had in the end of that Raider game last year, the way the season ended, you could take any one of those conversions, the 4th and 20, whatever, and touchdown passes on 4th downs, and just like that guy just completely took over that game. 100% took over.
Yeah.
And to see, I don't think I've ever seen him just like overhaul a game. Like second half, we got to figure this crap out. Let's go.
Right.
He just took over the game and led, and that was really cool. And I think obviously still to come his best moment, but so far that was the most like, I'm not this quiet, shy quarterback. I'm going to take over this game. Let's go. Get on my back. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah. That was a great
I think
moment.
for me, that was kind of the so far, but there's been so many good ones.
Yeah, that was good. It took a hopeless moment and gave us hope. I think going back to that first game, I think seeing his first touchdown and hearing him after the fact, like the first touchdown was him running it in.
He ran it in, yeah.
Which is a type of touchdown that we don't see often, if ever, at that point, because we were just so used to seeing as a Charger fan for Phillip Rivers. But then him coming on the sideline afterwards and saying that was the best 15 minutes of my life. Yeah. Like that was so cool just to hear that. Cause like you don't hear that from any other quarterbacks or any other players, like, you know, how in that instant moment, like you'll talk to him after the fact and he'll tell the story, but you wouldn't ever get to hear it in that moment of like, you know, so how was that? And him saying that was the best 15 minutes of my life. Like,
yeah,
that was so freaking cool. So
yeah, that was really cool.
And him winning Rookie of the Year, like just as a fan, like we don't get that. And we had it. And just so proud.
Oh yeah.
You know,
big time. So proud and thankful to have him as a quarterback and a leader. Too many to choose, but Super Bowl's champs. I hope you're not too hungover. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the Federation, who asked the question. Outside of Keenan and Mike, what wide receiver do you see taking a big leap this year? Well, I mean, the only other two really are Palmer and Guyton. I mean, there are other guys that are on the practice squad, but if anybody's going to make a leap, I honestly don't think it's Guyton. I think Guyton is going to continue to produce as he has in some of those deep down threats, but I don't think he's necessarily going to get more targets. I can definitely see Palmer getting more targets this year.
Yeah. I was going to say Guyton.
Were you?
I personally, I think, you know, he just gets a little better at some of the other things, some of the shorter intermediate stuff. He's one of our fastest wide receivers. So
sure, yeah.
You know, that's all we ever talked about is needing and wanting in the draft. And they thought we had it. So I'm hoping he has the biggest jump because then it's more deep ball threats and more taking the, you know, top off the coverage. So
sure.
But Palmer's exciting. We didn't drop a ball. He didn't do any of that. He definitely has insane potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Josh Palmer. I think Guyton is Guyton. I think he's proven what he is and he's good at what he does.
Right.
But I think that Palmer is going to be he's going to jump out as a little bit more of a complete wide receiver this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see that. But I think if you classifying tight ends, I know he's not a wide receiver, but a pass catcher.
Yeah.
I think Gerald Everett's going to blow up.
Yeah.
I really do. I think putting him in this offense with this quarterback, he's just going to skyrocket in his value. I think that's a sleeper fantasy pick too, if anyone's looking for one, because I don't think he's going to be on a lot of boards high up on the tight ends, but I think he's going to. We saw what Justin did with an elite tight end his first year. What he tried to do with Jared Cook this last year.
Right.
I think Gerald Everett's going to blow up.
All right. There you go, the Federation. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Snoker, who asked the question. You can quantum leap into the body of a Chargers GM for the day on any draft day in history to change the fortune of the team. Which draft do you redo? Some examples include redoing 1983, in which the Chargers had 3 first-round picks and take Bruce Matthews, Dan Marino, and Darrell Green instead of Billy Ray Smith, Gary Anderson, and Gil Byrd. Later-round picks would include Richard Dent, Carl Mackenberg, and Nate Newton. Redo 1991 and the end of the Chargers post-Fouts march through the QB desert by drafting Favre in round 1, snagging Ricky Waters, Aeneas Williams, and Ed McCaffrey with your 3 picks in the second. Late-round picks include Brian Cox, Merton Hanks, Ben Coates, Leon Lett, and Keenan McCardell, or erase the Lion Leaf era by redoing the 1998 draft, staying put, and taking Randy Moss, Charles Woodson, or Alan Faneka. Later round picks could include Patrick Surtain, Flozell Adams, Olin Kreutz, Leonard Little, Jeremiah Trotter, Hines Ward, Matt Burke, Jeff Saturday, Mike Van de Jack, London Fletcher, and Matt Hasselbeck.
Damn.
All right. Well, if that wasn't clear, these are a lot of names that are not from football that I am used to seeing. So I apologize if I butchered any of those too hard.
I don't know if we're gonna give you an answer that's better than all the research you did in this question.
I know. That could just be 1, 2, or 3. We could just pick one of those options, because
the one I would say
smokes.
that immediately jumps out to me is the Ryan Leaf was the biggest.
Just get rid of Ryan Leaf.
The biggest miss that we've ever had.
Yeah.
If I could quantum leap back into anything, it would be that day, and just take anybody else.
Yeah, Charles Woodson was 5 picks behind him, 6 picks behind him.
We would have been better off with whoever our current backups were on the Chargers roster than Ryan Leaf.
Yeah.
And it put us back a lot. So yeah, anyone but Ryan Leaf. Let's just go back to that day and don't do that.
Yeah, because that kind of set in motion like that time in like the late 90s, just the beginning of the aughts before we got LT
Drue.
and you know Drue and that came on. We just lost a couple years, and that sucked.
All right. Well, yeah, it's tough to pick a better options that you got there, Snoker. So thanks.
These are all
for doing
great.
The
They're
research.
great research.
Dude,
Doing all these. This is
serious
fantastic.
research. If this came off the top of your head, holy smokes!
Yeah, dude, you need to be on like a game show, like Beat Snooker.
You guys remember Stump the Schwab?
Yeah, Stump the Snoker.
Stump the Snoker. Yeah,
Stump.
There
Snoker.
you go.
That was insane.
All right. Well, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Aaron, who asked the question.
If the NFL truly cares about safety for the players and not just avoiding lawsuits, what is your guys' theory on why they don't allow the entire 53 roster to be active on game day? Seems unnecessary to break rosters into 3 sections like practice squad 53 and game day active. # Merrill.
Ooh, somebody wants Forrest Merrill to be playing.
We brought in a lot of guys that are going to be competing with Mr. Merrill. But I honestly, I didn't know about the active game day situation, because there were times where it was like, these guys aren't dressing up. And I was like, wait, why? Like, are they injured? Is there something I don't know?
Right.
And you guys are like, no, they don't dress everybody up.
They travel with the team, but not all of them are activated.
What up with that?
Honestly, I think I've just come to accept that that's what it is.
It's just the norm. Yeah. Like
I mean, if you are concerned about player safety, and the thing is, like, those 5 guys that are usually left off, because there's 48 that dress out, they're not like the best players in the world, right? They're kind of obviously that's why they're not. So I don't think it makes it any less fair. I don't know if it's a way for the league to avoid paying those guys game day checks. I have no idea. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Now that you bring it up, because I'm sure there's a reason, but I don't know what it is. It's got to be money. That's what I always fall back to when something doesn't make sense and they just do it anyways. Financially got to help the NFL and the clubs in some way.
All right. Well, sorry, Aaron, we don't really know, but we've got a guess.
I think you have a good plan here, though. I think you should activate all of them and then let Forrest Merrill do his thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the sports advocate.
Nice.
Who asked the question?
Fresh.
Who asked the question? Fun question for the pod. What's your all-time favorite game you got to watch live? Mine has to be the win over the Chiefs with the crazy 2-point conversion to Mike Will.
Got to watch live. There's some good ones. The one the 3 of us did where we got went to Kansas City and we rented the house and stayed right next to the stadium and hung out. Like everything surrounding that was like my favorite experience.
Yeah. We got to see Justin Herbert break records.
They were playing. they were playing backups that game. Like Mahomes wasn't playing because he was resting for the playoffs, but we won. All that matters to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to hang out with my boys.
Hell yeah.
But SoFi last year was pretty sick, though. Even though we lost that Dallas game, like that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, there was some fun. I don't know why this one. We've talked about this game before too, but it's just burned into my brain. It was in the early 2012, 2013. We beat the Chiefs on the last week to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you and Dad, it was like come down to a field goal kick. They were gonna kick to end it. You and Dad went up to like the concessions area, and we're just walking around angry. I was just sitting there by myself, and they shake the kick, and you guys come storming down the stairs, and we were just all celebrating together. That one will always be burned into my head for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, the Sports Advocate. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Ghost, who asked the question.
Ooh. This is more of a question the long-time older fans will get. That being said, I got a lot of love for the new fans. The more the merrier. Can't grow the fan base without new fans. Thank you, Justin Herbert. Okay, so do you guys believe that had John Butler lived and stayed GM, that he would have got the Chargers at the very least, one Super Bowl? Personally, I think he would have. It would make a great NFL Missing Rings episode. His death changed the direction of the franchise. In my honest opinion, AJ got too much credit for the work John did. Had he lived, Marty would have never been fired, Breeze probably wouldn't have left, and they would have won one Super Bowl, thereby causing them to get the green light on Stadium, which would have kept the Chargers in San Diego.
Well, sure, maybe.
That was definitely like a huge turn when AJ Smith took over. I just remember vividly, like, all the drama surrounding the Chargers when he was our GM. It was like there was always contract issues. There was always people holding out. There was like 1 year where we didn't think we were going to re-sign Antonio Gates because AJ was being just such a hard ass about the next contract for him. So that's definitely an alternate universe where, you know, because right when he came in, AJ was successful, and that had based a lot on the roster that
it was just the coattails of what was already built, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Butler had drafted LT and Drew Brees and was building what came to be one of our most successful teams. I should have won the Super Bowl, but AJ kind of got to just sit and draft the goofy gumps a lot of the times that didn't always pay off, but had the staples that were already put in place. So I don't know. I think you're in a much better spot because you don't lose Marty. Marty was no longer a Chargers head coach because of the drama
because of AJ
with AJ. Yeah. So if he sticks around, you're telling me 14-2 can't be repeated and go on and win more. So I think that's another great point. Yeah. If we could go this whole episode, if we could go back and not do Ryan Leaf, and then if we could have John Butler not die, this is great. I like this. Let's go back in time.
Yeah, let's change.
Who has a time machine? Yeah. Why all these back in time questions? Something we don't know.
Fame.
Don't need no credit card
to ride this train. All right, Ghost, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Diehard Bolt Club, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
What's up?
Who asked the question?
Game of 21 between the three of you, ones and twos, but a Sky Zone court. Who wins?
I don't know what this means.
I'm blowing out
Sky Zone, like trampoline park.
It's so fun.
What is
Sky
it?
Zone.
Yeah, Sky Zone. Sky Zone's a trampoline park, which we go to all the time with my son.
Okay.
It's really, really fun.
We went once, not too long ago before I came on this trip, and my 2-year-old hurt himself. So my memory is fresh of if that can happen to my 2-year-old with very pliable, flexible knees and cartilage and tendons.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
I'm blowing some shit out, but I would still say I'd probably win. It's called firstborn confidence, Kyle. You don't have it, you never will.
It's just insane.
Well,
insanity.
I can affirmatively say that I would not be the winner.
Out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll just be bouncing in a corner and watching.
Playing in the foam pit.
He's in the toddler zone with the building blocks and stuff. Good shot.
Good shot.
Yeah.
All right. Dire Bowl Club, Oklahoma.
It's certified fresh, and we are so happy that we're part of the family now. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
I think, Kevin, you and I could both agree that any game of basketball, Dad would beat both of us.
Yeah, he played college basketball. He didn't hand that off to us for sure.
I know he's not in the question, but Dad.
I know, but now
on something.
He's Kyle.
He doesn't have to bounce. He'll just stand there and shoot and beat us with twos.
He would find a loophole. He'd find
me and
a way.
you would be elbowing and trying to dunk for ones. He's just sitting on the perimeter hitting threes all day. And he wouldn't miss a free throw either. So
yeah.
All right.
Dire Bowl Club, Oklahoma. Thank you for asking the questions. Moving on to Tom T's Burner, who asked the question. Hey, man. So I remembered my question from last week. Hold on a second. Oh, man. I could talk about Isaiah Spiller all day. And if you want to go, you could look at my Twitter, man. I go on like a rant, man, about Isaiah Spiller. But, you know, I just scooped up my first shirt from the Charger chat last night. Ring spun cotton tri-blend shirt. That's sweet, bros. And free shipping too. Love it. Thanks, man. We all need to sling one back at a game or rip one in the parking lot, man. I love the interviews with the other podcasters. Looking forward to the director today, man. He's a hero, too. It would be sweet to have the Bolt Bros podcast on sometime. All right, Kay, I love you guys, man. Bye.
Bye, man.
Bye, man. All right, so Tom T, I'm sorry, man. You rambled on Isaiah Spiller, and it was great. For those who want to see it, go check it out on Twitter. But we got a heart out on this episode, and I just could not read that whole thing, buddy. I love you. And keep it coming. And thank you for buying the shirt. That is awesome. We really do appreciate it. And we'll definitely toss one back.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to that first game in Thunder Alley and just see everybody again. That was just like the best.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tom Teesburner. Let's move it on now to Daniel Falconberry, who asked the question. Hey, boys. Saw a fun question on the Twitters. If you could steal one player from another team, who would it be? Out of novelty, I had fun. I picked Nick Bosa. Plus, he can play some mean-ass football. Who would you pick and why? Also, have y'all noticed those big old muscles on number 10 these days? I hope he's stretching those creamy hamstrings. Side note, Raiders fans are the worst. So many delusions of grandeur about the state of their team. It's nauseating, but hey, family, trust, respect. Can't love you, bye. All right. Yeah, Nick Bosa would be pretty damn fun to have on the team, right?
We've bolstered the shit out of this defense. I'm gonna go a little curveball.
Ooh.
I think Derrick Henry would be super fun 1-2 punch with Austin Eckler.
Wow.
Because they're ranked as like the top 3 running backs in the league, the two of them.
Sure, yeah.
So if you had that 1-2 punch the whole season,
yeah,
doesn't matter who's your right tackle is.
No, it doesn't, because Derrick Henry coming.
Yeah, but both brothers would be sweet, but we got a lot of edge rushers, right?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, final answer.
Just give me any 2022 Pro Bowl tackle. Toss him on the roster.
That's Rashawn Slater, so we'll get one more Rashawn Slater.
Yeah, give me. Oh, if you could duplicate Rashawn Slater, if that's an option, absolutely, please. Yeah.
All right. Well, tough to think back. I mean, we've always said Aaron Donald too, but like Kevin said, we kind of bolstered up this defense. I think it's going to be fun to see.
Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler.
I know. That would be pretty awesome. Thank you, Daniel, for asking the question. Let's move on now to Cap'n Crunch, who asked the question. Okay, so like it totally doesn't even matter since our Chargers are going to wipe the floor with all of our pansy-ass division rivals anyway. 6-0, baby. But like in the theoretical situation that we could like only go 3-3 in the division, like splitting one game with each rival, or go like 4-2, but lose both games to the same team. Like, which would you choose? On the one hand, 4-2 equals better record, but like you would have to deal with some D-bag fans of their pile of dung they call a football team, never shutting their friggin' mouths for a year. And if you do pick the 4-2 record, which team do we lose to? I feel like an evil bitch just making you even think about this scenario, but like, whatever. Can't love you. Bye.
You do such a good like sassy girl,
valley girl.
Just sassy. Well, that's what happens when you grow up in Southern California. All the fucking high school girls talk like this. They all got fucking attitude.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, this is an evil question. Like, would you rather go lose one game to every team or go 4-2, but lose two games to the same team?
I'd like to spread the wealth. I think I would rather beat every team once.
Yeah.
That's an odd one for sure.
I don't want to lose to any team twice, so I don't know how to answer that.
I'll go 4-2 and beat everybody. Yeah, I don't know.
Beat everybody.
I'm not conceding yet. We're going 6-0 in the AFC West.
What team would be the easiest team to lose twice to?
The Chiefs.
Okay. You can say that. That can be your answer.
They're the best of the teams.
Yeah, but that's going to be who we're playing to try to win the division.
Dude,
that's who you want to beat the most.
You bait them, then you beat them.
You bait them and you beat them.
You just got.
If 4-2 is the absolute option, I would rather lose to the Broncos twice. Because I can't lose to the Raiders twice. Kill myself.
No, but
kill myself.
Can't do that.
Live on the air, I'd do it.
And the Chiefs, they've won the division the last however many years. I'm just sick of them. So if I had to pick a team to lose twice to, it would be them.
Captain Crunch, this is a mean fucking question.
But that means I get to beat the Raiders twice and the Chiefs twice.
Right.
That's beautiful. That's a great world.
I would go with the 3-3 as well, because I think it keeps everybody on the same playing field, and it's just a matter of how many of your other games you can win.
Yeah.
And
that's well thought out.
Yeah.
Not emotional.
No.
That's why you're here.
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you would
more of a
obviously
Kyle answer, really. That's not.
Well, you'd obviously have a better record with 4-2, but you don't want to lose twice to any of the division rivals.
But I don't want to lose twice to the Raiders, so I'd rather do the other one.
3-3.
No, I don't want to lose to the Raiders.
Well, you have to lose to. Well, okay. So if you want to beat them
you
twice,
want to beat the Raiders twice, you have to do the 4-2 scenario.
That's what I'm doing.
You want to lose to the Chiefs twice?
Sure.
Yeah,
that's the
fine.
stupidest answer I've ever heard.
I don't want to lose to the Raiders. Twitter's an awful place after the Raiders win anything.
You live in Missouri.
I also live on Twitter. It's real.
It's a real thing.
Right.
Captain Crunch, you a bitch. Thank you for asking the question.
Good one.
All right. Well, now let's go out of Ask Boltfam with Senior Snappy. And if you want to follow along, this is a continuation from episode 163.
Oh, shit. Really?
Here we go. San Ysidro has seen wicked men before. Now, here you were, WoolDog, holed up in that dusty Motel Cinco outside of town, laid low like a snake waiting till everyone forgot what you'd done back in Idaho. How you murdered that poor fella that had rescued your diseased old hound, WoolDog Jr. But San Ysidro didn't know the real WoolDog. Not yet. You done got it made for a minute. Found a little lady that took you in. A saloon keeper that didn't ask too many questions. A Walmart greeter that said hello, no matter what kind of state you was in. You even found one of those bourgeois pet stores that stocks WoolDog Jr.'s favorite horse kibble. If only you hadn't had to lie so much to keep the law off your trail. The Bolts want it all, you said. God only knows why. Then it was, I'd marry Justin Herbert and kill Drew Brees. But dadgummit, you went too far when you told her your name was Senior Snappy. A pretty young thing like that is going to learn the truth eventually. Now the old sheriff is at your door. He's on the bullhorn ordering you to come out with your hands in the air. And all them deputies are right beside him, like coiled springs ready to explode itchy trigger fingers and a mean-looking battering ram. That little lady, she must have led them right to you. You took her innocence, WoolDog. The only right thing she can take is your freedom. Is this where it all ends? You might be able to escape through the bathroom window, but WoolDog Jr. ain't a quiet hound. He'll give you away. They won't shoot you if you walk out with the little lady in front. You can call in a favor on that rotary phone. What'll it be?
I see your Snappy.
Oh, man.
The creative writing is off the charts. We need to add.
Great
I don't know
writing.
how much time we have to produce this episode, but I feel like there needs to be some sound effects or some music for that.
At the very least, I'll put some ambient music in there, something to kind of set the tone. Yeah, Senior Snappy started this in episode 163. So if you're wondering why the hell did he do this, go back and listen to that. And I think the idea, if I remember correctly, was just like, if you
killed someone,
if I killed someone and, just to win the Super Bowl and tell them that I won it all, would I?
Oh God.
And as far as what would I do? Might be able to skate to the bathroom, win it, but WoolDog Jr. ain't a quiet hand. He'll give you away.
You gotta leave your dog behind.
You leave your dog behind, get away, go out, don't get shot, give yourself up, or call in a favor, whatever that looks like.
I might call in a favor. I might be calling you, Senior Snappy. I might be like, I'm in a jam. Get me out.
Get to snapping.
Yeah. Stop jabbing and start snapping.
You're loyal. You're not leaving the dog.
That's right.
You're not going to surrender.
Yeah, it'd be tough to
You're
leave the
gonna
dog.
go down swinging.
Yeah.
All right. I like that answer, at WoolDog.
I'm looking forward to the third episode of this trilogy. Yeah, thrilling conclusion.
All right, Senior Snappy, thank you for bringing the creative writing, and thank you everybody who asked questions.
You gotta come up with episode 3 and let us know what this favor is that he's called in.
Yeah, this is like a choose your own adventure, Senior Snappy. Yep. I'm picking the rotary phone favor.
Let us know how it goes.
Let me know what happens. All right. Well, any final thoughts or bold predictions, gentlemen?
I got nothing.
I'm gonna kiss the ground when I get home.
That's right. Kevin's coming home, baby.
Mere 20 hours, I'll be back.
And it'll be sweet. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors. When you serve your family dinner, they appreciate it. Thanks, Mom! But when you add WoolDog soft bread rolls, they really appreciate it. Oh, wow! Bread rolls! Works every time. Hot, flaky, buttery tasting bread rolls. Your family's really gonna love them. WoolDog soft bread rolls. They'll appreciate it.